Good morning, students. Today our topic is rational functions and rational inequalities. So first we'll see the rational functions. A rational expression of x is defined as the ratio of two polynomials in x, say p of x and q of x, where q of x not equal to 0. So see that numerator and the denominator are polynomials. So this is called the rational functions in x, and the denominator should not be equal to 0. So here there are two examples. Now we are going to see the rational inequalities. So exercise 2.8, find all values of x for which x cube into x minus 1 divided by x minus 2 is greater than 0. This rational inequalities, that is this exercise 2.8 is important 5-mark topic. So the last year in board exam the question has come. Okay, so listen carefully. So first question, find all values of x for which x cube into x minus 1 divided by x minus 2 greater than 0. So first you have to take each term, that is each factor is equal to 0. I'll take first x cube. X cube is equal to 0. So you will get x is equal to 0. So consider the next factor, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1. And you take the factor of the denominator. According to the rational function, this should not be equal to 0. Okay, so I have taken x minus 2 is not equal to 0. So x is not equal to 2. This is a very important result. You have to consider the denominator. The denominator should not be equal to 0. So while you are writing the factor of the denominator, you have to mention it is not equal to 0. So x value should not be equal to 2. If it is 2 means 2 minus 2, 0. The denominator become 0. So the term will go to infinity. So we can't define it. So here x is not equal to 2. So here there are three values. One is 0, 1 and 2. Using the three values, arrange it in the ascending order. That means smaller to higher. So it is already there, 0, 1, 2. Now you have to write the intervals from minus infinity to plus infinity, including these three values. So I'll start from the intervals are minus infinity to 0. What is the next value? 1. So 0 to 1. The next value is 2. So 1 to 2 and 2 to infinity. So we have considered all the intervals from minus infinity to plus infinity. In between, we are including the points at which x is equal to 0. Okay, including the points at which the factor is equal to 0. So minus infinity to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to infinity. Okay, I'll take the first interval. You see that heading I have written, I have taken each factor separately. We are going to discuss about the sign of those factors in the given interval. I'll take the problem. You see that the problem is what? X cube. So sign of x cube first you have to write. Next, sign of x minus 1. Then sign of the numerator, that is the x cube into x minus 1. You see that? First one I have written sign of x cube, sign of x minus 1, then the sign of x cube into x minus 1. So what is in the denominator? Sign of x minus 2. Next, I have written here sign of the whole term x cube into x minus 1 divided by x minus 2. So you have to split each term, each factor separately. Okay, so the next one, the interval first interval minus infinity to 0. Okay, you have to take a point in this interval. Okay, minus infinity to 0. So we can have minus 1 and substitute here minus 1 the whole cube. The answer is positive or negative. That is enough. You need not find the value whether it is positive or negative. So what is minus 1 the whole cube? It is negative. Okay, the same minus 1 if you take minus 1 is minus 2. So it is also negative. Here what we did, the product of these two. So negative into negative, here you will have positive. When you take the product of negative terms into negative terms, that will be positive. Next, sine of x minus 2. What the value we have taken in this interval? Minus 1. So minus 1 when you substitute minus 1 minus 2 is negative. Isn't it? Okay. So see now, consider this term x cube into x minus 1. Already we have found it is positive. So the numerator sign is positive. Come to the denominator is negative. So positive by negative, you will get negative. Okay. So go to the next interval 0, 1. So I'll take half. Okay. That is 0.5. So half the whole cube. So it is positive. We don't want the values. We have to write whether it is positive or not. So half the whole cube is positive. Here you look at this, half minus 1. So half is bigger or 1 is bigger? 1 is bigger. So whose sign is minus. So this term will become minus. Okay. So positive into negative. When you take the product, it is negative. So next you have to go for sine of x minus 2. What the number we have taken? Half plus half. Half you have to substitute in the place of x. Here you are having 2. So half is bigger or 2 is bigger? 2 only bigger. Whose sign is? What is the sign of 2? In front what you are having? Minus. So this term will become minus. Come to this. The numerator is the product of x cube into x minus 1. Where we have found that is the fourth column, we have found it is minus. What is in the denominator sign? That also minus. So numerator is minus and the denominator is minus, means this term will become positive. Okay. And go to the next interval 1, 2. What value we can take? Shall we take 1.5? Yes, we can take 1.5. So it is 1.5 the whole cube. So it is positive. Take now in the place of x what you are going to substitute? 1.5. So here you are having 1.5. Here you are having 1. Which is bigger? 1.5 is bigger. So whose sign is positive? So here I have written positive. What is this? It's a product of these two. Plus into plus is plus. And come to this x minus 2 sign. So what the number we have taken? It is 1.5. So 1.5 here you have to substitute. So look at this, 1.5 is bigger, 2 is bigger, 2 only bigger. So whose sign is negative. So here you are having negative. What is the numerator sign for this interval? It is positive and the denominator is negative. So positive by negative is negative. Okay, go to the next one. So 2 to infinity. So 2 to infinity you can have the value 3, isn't it? Okay, 3 the whole cube is positive. Okay, so 3 minus 1, you know very well, it is positive. So here you have to take the product of these two. So plus into plus is plus. Next, here what the x value we have taken? 3. So 3 minus 2, you know very well, 3 is bigger number whose sign is positive. So the numerator sign is positive and the denominator sign is positive. So positive by positive is positive, isn't it? Okay, see now. See the problem. So the question is like this. Here what the symbol? It is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means positive will come or negative will come. Positive only. So I have circled in which interval the positive sign has come. So these two intervals. So the solution set will be 0, 1 and 2 to infinity. If you write like this, only 4 numbers. It's not so. We have to write as an interval. While you are writing interval, you have to be very careful. Okay. You see now, 0, 1. What about 0? Shall we include 0? Shall we have 0? Yes, x is equal to 0. It is included. But you see that here there is no equal symbol. So this 0 is not included. You see now, I have taken the interval. While you are writing interval, you have to be very careful in the brackets. The points are not included means you have to use the ordinary bracket, that is called the open interval. If the points are included, you have to use the square bracket to denote the closed interval. See, just listen carefully. X equal to 0, that number is there. We can consider. But in this problem, what is not there? Equal symbol is not there. So, we should not include 0. So, here you have to use the ordinary bracket. That is an open interval. And come to here. What's the number here? You are having 1. So, x equal to 1 we can take. Okay. But here there is no equal symbol. So, 1 should not be included. So, here also you have to use the ordinary parenthesis. So, the solution will be in open interval 0, 1. That means the set of all real numbers between 0 and 1, we should not take 0 and we should not take 1. That is the meaning of open interval. Okay, come to now. 2 is here. So, 2 already what we have denoted, it is not equal to 2. X should not take value 2. So, it is excluded. So, you have to use the ordinary bracket. Minus infinity and plus infinity, you will use this bracket only. So, the solution set satisfies this inequality is in this interval only. So, in this way, you have to conclude the solution. Okay, so we'll go to the next problem. Problem number 2. You see that find all the values of x that satisfies the inequality 2x minus 3 divided by x minus 2, x minus 4 less than 0. It is a rational function. In a numerator also, it's a linear polynomial. On the denominator, you are having x minus 2 into x minus 4. When you multiply, it is a quadratic polynomial. So, p of x by q of x. So, here inequality is used. So, it is called the irrational inequality. So, what's the first step you have to do? How to solve it? Take each factor and equal to 0. So, you see the numerator factor is what? 2x minus 3. So, you have to equal to 0. 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 means 2x is equal to 3. So, x is equal to 3 by 2. You will have. Okay, both the factors are in the denominator. So, the denominator should not be equal to 0. So, x minus 2 not equal to 0 and x minus 4 is not equal to 0. So, therefore, you are getting x is not equal to 2 and x is not equal to 4. Okay, whether it is included or not included, so you have to use the points for writing the intervals. So, before writing the intervals, it is very important that you have to arrange the points in the ascending order, that is lower to higher. Otherwise, the whole problem will be wrong. Okay, see, I'll start from minus infinity. So, you see that the points are 3 by 2, 2, 4. So, they are in the ascending order. So, starting from minus infinity to where we have to stop? 3 by 2. Then 3 by 2 to 2. Next 2 to 4 and 4 to infinity. So, we have covered all the real numbers. Okay. So, see that here I have written only the factor. You have to write sign of the numerator factor. Then sign of x minus 2. Then sign of x minus 4. Then the whole term is considered. So, you have to split according to your convenience. But it should be, give the correct answer. Okay, take the first interval. What is it? Minus infinity to 3 by 2. What is 3 by 2? 3 by 2 is 1.5. Okay, see, minus infinity negative number. 3 by 2 positive number. So negative to positive comes, definitely we have to cross 0. So I'll take 0 here. X is equal to 0. So if I substitute x as 0, the whole term 2x will become 0. So 0 minus 3, what it is? Minus 3. So here it is negative. And 0 if you take, it is negative. 0 in the place of x, if you substitute 0 minus 4, so it is negative. Okay, what is in the numerator? 2x minus 3. What is the sign for that? Minus. Look at the denominator, it's a product of these two terms. So you have to take the product. I didn't write, if you want you can write. Okay, negative into negative is positive. So see that the numerator is negative and the denominator is positive. So the answer will become negative. Okay, go to the second interval. What is it? 3 by 2 to 2. That is 1.5 to 2. So we'll take the next number 1.6. Okay, when you substitute x as 1.6, 1.6 into 2 is 3.2. Okay, what the number? 3 by 2 is 1.5 and 2. So the immediately next number I'll take 1.6. When I substitute in the place of x as 1.6, 1.6 into 2 is 3.2. So 3.2 here you are having 3, which is bigger, 3.2. What is the sign of 3.2? That is positive. So here I have written positive. Okay, see here 1.6, here 2, which is bigger, 2. Whose sign is negative. So here I have written negative. And come to here, it is 1.6. Here you are having 4. So 4 is bigger, whose sign is negative. Okay, what is the numerator sign? That is positive. What will be in the denominator? Denominator, two terms whose product. So it is negative into negative, positive. So numerator also positive and the denominator also positive. So the whole term sign is positive. Okay, go to the next interval, 2 to 4. You can have 3. So when you substitute in the place of x as 3, it is 6 minus 3. So definitely it is positive. Okay, what the number we have taken for x? 3. 3 minus 2. So it is positive. 3 minus 4. Say now 3 minus 4. So 3 is bigger, 4 is bigger. 4 only bigger, whose sign is negative. So here you will have negative. What's the numerator sign? It is positive and the denominator sign is negative. So positive by negative is negative. Okay, go to the next interval, 4 to infinity. So what number we can take? 5. So when you go for 5 here, it is 10 minus 3, it is positive. 5 if you write, it is positive. 5 here, if you write 5 minus 4 is 1. So it is positive. The numerator is positive and the product of these two also positive. So here it is positive. So we have found all the intervals. We have considered all the intervals. Okay, see now, if here you look at your problem. So what is here? Less than 0. Less than 0 means what it is? It is negative. So I circled in what are the intervals the negative has come. So the first and the third interval. So I have written the points minus infinity, 3 by 2 and 2 to 4. So to give the explanation about this, I have written like this. Okay, minus infinity should be enclosed with this parenthesis. Minus infinity and plus infinity, you have to start with the open parenthesis, open interval only. Okay, what about 3 by 2? 3 by 2, can you include? 3 by 2 is there. We can take x is equal to 3 by 2. But in this problem, here what is not there? Equal to symbol is not there. So we should not include 3 by 2. So you have to use the open bracket. So what is the interval? First interval, it's an open interval. Minus infinity to 3 by 2. Okay, come to the next one. Here you are having 2. Shall we include 2? No, the 2 is not included. X should not take the value 2 as well as 4. So this also not included. So you have to use the open bracket. That is parenthesis, ordinary parenthesis you have to use. So therefore, in this interval, the inequality is satisfied. Okay, so come to the third problem. The same way you have to solve it. You consider the problem, solve x squared minus 4 divided by x squared minus 2x minus 5 less than or equal to 0. The previous problem you have seen only less than 0, but here less than or equal to 0. There will be a difference in it. Okay, what is the first step you have to do, girls? So you have to take the factor and equal to 0. You see the numerator. What is the numerator? X squared minus 4. So x squared minus 4 is equal to 0 means x squared is equal to 4. X is equal to plus or minus 2. You should not write only 2. So it is 2 values has to come. So plus or minus square root of 4. So plus or minus 2. Okay, how the denominator? It should not be equal to 0. So here it is a quadratic polynomial, isn't it? So it has to be factorized. So the product of two terms is minus 15 and the addition of those two terms is minus 2. So I'll write minus 5, 3. Okay, so it can be written as x minus 5 into x plus 3 not equal to 0. Equate x minus 5 is equal to 0 means x is equal to 5. So here x is not equal to 5 and x is not equal to minus 3. Next, you have to write the intervals. While before writing the intervals, you have to arrange the points in the ascending order. That is very, very important. Okay, so how to arrange? What's the first point has to come? How many points are there? Plus 2, minus 2, 5 and minus 3. So, starting from minus infinity, you will come across first one, minus 3. Next, you have to go to minus 2. Next 2, next 5. So, the intervals are minus infinity to minus 3, minus 3 to minus 2, minus 2 to 2, 2 to 5 and 5 to infinity. Okay, so how the heading should be? So it's a sine of x squared minus 4 and so you can't find directly. So you have to write two factors. So sine of x minus 5 and sine of x plus 3. Then the sine of the whole term can be considered. Okay, go to the first interval. Minus infinity to minus 3. So which point we can take? We have to take minus 4. You should not take what it is. Minus 2. Keep that in mind. Minus infinity to minus 3. So you have to take minus 4. So minus 4 the whole squared is, what is it? 16. 16 minus 4. So it is positive. Here what point you have taken? Minus 4. Minus 4 minus 5. You are adding. So it is negative. So minus 4 plus 3. So which is greater number? 4 or 3? 4 is greater. Whose sign is minus? So here it is minus. Okay. What is the numerator sign? It is plus. What will be the denominator? Denominator is the product of these two. So negative into negative is positive. So numerator is positive and the denominator also positive. So the whole term sign is positive. Go to the next one. Minus 3 comma minus 2. So what number we can take? We have to take minus 2.5. You should not take minus 3.5. So you have to be careful in taking a number within that interval. So I'll consider minus 2.5. So when I square that, it is 6.25. So 6.25 is bigger than 4. 6.25 sign is positive. So here I have written positive. What number we have taken for x? It is minus 2.5. So minus 2.5 minus 5. Both are negative. So when you add, it is negative. So here you have to write minus. So in the place of x, you have to write minus 2.5. Minus 2.5 plus 3. Which is bigger? 3, whose sign is positive. So here is positive. What the numerator sign? Plus. What is the denominator sign? Negative into positive. So it is negative. Numerator is positive and the denominator is negative. So you will have negative. Okay, go to the next one. Minus 2 to 2. Already I have said, if you come across negative to positive, you can include, definitely 0 is included. So we can take x for 0. So it is negative. Here this also negative. Here it is positive. Numerator sign is negative and the denominator sign also negative. So negative by negative is positive. Go to the next interval, 2 to 5. So we can have 3 or 4 you can take, whatever it is. So 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. That is positive. Here 3 minus 5. What has to come? Negative. Here 3 plus 3 positive. Numerator sign is positive and the denominator sign is negative. So this will become negative. Next, 5 to infinity. You can have 6. So 6 the whole square is 36. So it will be positive. If you take 6 here, it is positive. Here also it is positive. So numerator is positive and the denominator is also positive. So it will be positive. After finishing the interval, go to the problem and see the inequality what is given here. It is less than or equal to. So less than 0 means it is negative. So I have circled the negative symbol in the intervals. Okay, so I have noted just the points. I didn't write the interval. I am going to write now. So minus 3 comma minus 2 and 2 comma 5. Okay, you see now minus 3 is included or not. You see that x should not take the value minus 3. That means here it is not included. So you have to use the open bracket. Ordinary bracket you have to use. Next one, what it is? Minus 2. So minus 2 is in, shall we take? Yes, x can take values plus 2 as well as minus 2. And after, yes, you can take it. But you see this, what problem? In that equal symbol is there. So minus 2 is included. So if it is included means here you have to use the square bracket. There is a difference. Minus 3 is not included. So I have used this ordinary bracket. Here minus 2 we can take. X can take the value minus 2. And here the inequality symbol, equal symbol is there. So I have included. Okay. Next one. 2. X can take value 2. In this problem, equality symbol is there. So 2 is included. So it has to be written in the square bracket. What about 5? X should not take the value 5. So 5 has to be excluded. That is not included. So you have to use this bracket. So this is the interval in which the x is satisfied the inequality. Thank you, students.